Let's get salty!
Hey everyone, Zeddy here again today with a brand new video, and as you see here, just a couple of weeks ago, you may not have known this, although you follow this channel, you probably did. We had a mini set come out, Return in X Ramus, and well, it was the third mini set of the year. They come with every expansion, and it's been that way since Dark Moon Fair launched back in 2020. There's some rumblings going around that possibly mini sets may be going away. They may be replaced by 4 expansions. We're going to talk about the speculation of it. This is not confirmed whatsoever. Pros, the cons, all that stuff that could go with it, and why it might be a reality. You enjoy the content on the channel, by the way? Just by the way, if you do, you happen to like this idiot, and you feel like I've earned your sub, please hit the sub button down below, give the video a like, it helps the channel out a ton. So yes, the mini set basically every 2 months after an expansion drops, it's, you know, a little bit of extra cards this time around. We got 38 cards, it gives a little infusion to the game. What's most notable about mini sets is they're relatively cheap. They're free to play friendly. They're only 2,000 gold or like $15 USD. It's kind of a nice little thing you could save up for, and for the most part have been pretty welcomed by the community. However, I noted the first rumblings of a possible 4 expansions back with Hearthstone Mathematics video back about this in November, going over it, talking about why they might be doing it. Basically, it would make the game a bit more expensive by their calculations, all that. I'll link this video down below if you want to take a look at it. Again, we're just spitballing here, but there have been hints throughout the year that the mini set thing is something that might just not be what they want to do. One of the hints towards a possible, you know, the fact that mini sets aren't really in favor with Blizzard is the fact that Onyxia's Lair, which came with Alterite Valley, is the last mini set that came with one of these, basically an animated cinematic trailer. They have like overview videos for the mini sets now where they kind of talk about the cards, but you could see they have like its own unique cinematic trailer. And this year, I don't believe any of the expansions had one. Whether they just don't see the budgetary return on it, maybe it could be totally irrelevant, might have nothing to do with this at all, but it is kind of a sign that, at least in terms of investing in mini sets, that cinematic trailers were axed this year. And you know, it makes people wonder, is it a sign of things to come? Also this year, they decided we're gonna put a heroic brawl before every single mini set, in the opinion of most people, or a lot of people, to basically trick people into spending their gold early because they don't love the fact that people can just buy it straight up with gold. There's all these things that seem to be like, we don't like this mini set thing. And what really got me thinking about it was based off this tweet, this thread from Cantaloupe. Basically, he is pretty frustrated right now that we're again stuck in this meta of just Deathlight only, right? We're in this Deathlight meta before the last expansion, or right after the expansion came out. It was the Rogue Demon Hunter meta. And he said, I feel like the Hearthstone balance team has done a good job fixing stuff after the fact. Is every single new set of cards ruin the balance? They really need a test realm or something. Fino responded, they prefer releasing OP cards that change the meta over underpowered ones that don't change much. Release DK is a good example how they didn't want to take risks, end up being very underpowered. I'm taking the OP cards that can be just later any day. I'm on the Cantaloupe train. I don't like when it's overly broken, only one class sees play. I actually like the way they released Deathlight. You know, it wasn't busted, it was good enough. I think the DK example is not great, but basically this thread devolved into, you know, back and forth. Like, it depends on your preference and what you like. This isn't what this video is about, but they were going back and forth over this issue, and Ridiculous Hat, the podcast connoisseur, came in here and said, psst, the real issue is that the release schedule doesn't leave an opportunity for a healthy meta to breathe, and we're constantly waiting for fixes instead of enjoying stable metas. Cantaloupe says the holiday cycle of kind of was just bad timing. The last patch was such a good patch, which I agree, right before the mini set talked about, it's actually kind of almost enjoying standard. This guy, almost enjoying standard. I can't go as far as saying I was enjoying it, but you know, close enough, right? For this cynical bastard. And then he said, but we hardly had any time with it before the mini set dropped. Usually that sweet spot balance patch would hit a few weeks earlier, so we have more time to enjoy it. But Hat continues here. Patch was only about a week and 2-ish weeks between 2.2 balance and 0.4 mini set, and has happened every time since mini sets have been released. It's a really problematic cadence, I think. He has some more points, but short version is that I think mini sets are not good for them or for us, and 4 sets a year would be better. So there are people that feel like keep getting in this loop. Every single, basically this content drop, we get an expansion, it breaks the game. We wait for a while, they get a balance patch, maybe that fixes it. Another patch probably does, and then the mini set comes out, breaks the game, and we're basically in a broken meta all the time. We don't really get to have that much fun in a balanced meta unless you're the Phenos of the world and like the broken stuff. And then yeah, we're kind of in that loop. Whereas if you have like 4 expansions a year, one every 3 months, you're looking at a much more streamlined thing. All the cards come out at the same time. You can balance them a lot more appropriately. You don't have to worry about this mini set of fusion messing things up. Balance wise, I think probably 4 sets is ideal. That's a big pro to it. And the other big pro for Blizzard is 4 sets would probably make them more money, because the free-to-play option, the free option, just getting the mini set, getting 4 legendaries, getting epics and all of that is gone. If they just go straight expansions, making it a lot worse. And the other big con that I would say, besides, you know, making the game more expensive, is it's kind of content overload. I feel you add another expansion, a 4th expansion, one every 3 months, and you're asking people to get like a mega bundle every single time. I think you're going to lose people. I really think it's a scary thing to think of going to 4 sets. I'd be more inclined to just go with 3 expansions and just include the mini sets in those expansions. Just have bigger expansions. That would even be better in my opinion than 4. And I think the ideal setup, honestly, is what we already have. I think an expansion followed by 2 months later a mini set that creates new content for people, something to look forward to. I think the bigger issue, and Hat doesn't talk about it here, is just their patch cadence. The patch cycle just doesn't work. It doesn't work. They don't update the game enough for standard. They need a way to quickly address cards that are problematic. I think you're fine having 3 sets and a mini set, but if you can actually update cards, like if you look in standard right now and you look at the most played card at the moment, 1.6 million times played Construct Quarter compared to the next card, which is Nerubian Vizier, also in the DK decks, but it's a neutral. I feel like if they can get some cadence out there to get these patches, like, okay, we have an outlier card stat, let's just fix it within a week or so and then, you know, move on. Or they could just set up a schedule like every beginning of every season, we have a balance patch. We have a monthly balance patch. Every season is fresh and unique. There's something to look forward to, and we can always address key outlier or key problem. And as a community, we know when that patch would come. It would come at the end of every month, or just have like a set schedule. I think the idea of going to 4 expansions, if that actually happens, could be something that is a huge negative to the game. They've gone a long way to make the game seem a little bit more affordable. It ain't great, but it's a lot more manageable than it used to be. And if they were to go to 4 expansions, eliminate mini sets, and do something along these lines, I just think it would scare a lot of people away. It'd be content overload. Hell, my channel would just be card reviews 4 months a year. It'd be ridiculous. But I do see the point that, you know, someone like Ridiculous Hat says that this patch cadence doesn't work. It doesn't work the way it is, but I think it's less a 4 expansion thing than it is just we need more frequent patches for standard, whether it's just straight up card changes for outliers like a Construct Quarter, which has been, you know, wreaking havoc for 2 weeks now. We all know it's broken. We all know it's going to get nerfed, yet we're still waiting here for it. So that's kind of my take on it. Do I think this will happen? I really hope not, but there are signs of it. Like I said, the Heroic Brawl, they really want our gold. Basically no cinematic trailers, but maybe they just saw no return on it, so they ditched it. We'll find out. Most likely they'll have like the year of the whatever for the Hearthstone year. They always outline like the whole plan for the year, so we'll probably find out in April, getting mini sets or 4 sets or whatever it is. I'm hoping to keep it. I wouldn't like to see go, but I'd love to hear your guys' comments in the comments below. Would you prefer 4 sets a year, or do you like to keep it the way it is, or something completely different? Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Enjoy the video. Please like and subscribe. Have a great day and stay salty, my friends.